Yes. Yash, can you make Mataji the host? Yash. We are just starting in 1 minute. Yes. Mataji, you can begin the class.
Hare Krishna. I welcome all of you on today's second day session for the cooking. Happy Dhanvantari Jayanti for all of you. Happy Dhanteras. Today we are going to have recipes which are related with the hormonal imbalance. So there are multiple hormonal imbalances which we see in society. For example, PCOS is one of the major issue nowadays. Then second is amenorrhea or secondary amenorrhea, generally which is very commonly found in teenager girls. Then third is menopause, which is again very common nowadays because of the hormonal imbalances and lifestyle related issues. This menopause is also becoming complicated nowadays. So we are going to see some simple home remedies and one more recipe for the PMS, like premenstrual syndrome. So nowadays, this is also very common. As I give the class for the PMS, where I just mentioned some of the names of the herbs which is your PMS, like premenstrual syndrome. So I'm going to share one or two recipes for the PMS also. So let's begin with a recipe for the PCOS. So for first recipe for the PCOS, we are going to prepare a soup. So the soup is horse gram soup. As you know, horse gram is a very much neglected gram, you can say. Not much people know about it, but traditionally they were our ancestors, they used to have it almost once a week, or specifically in the winter season they used to have it anyhow. But now we are forgetting this crop. So I'll show you how it looks like and how to prepare the soup. So we'll see the ingredients for the PCOS. So you can see here, I have specially kept a whole horse gram, how it looks. So if someone doesn't know, in Hindi, it is called as kulthi. In Marathi, it is called as kulit. So this is a horse gram. You can see this is a kind of grain it looks like. I have roasted it and then I have grinded it into the powder form. So we are going to use powdered horse gram. Then other ingredients are coconut oil, then asafoetida, then turmeric. Turmeric is also one of the ingredient. Then water, 200 to 300 ml. Then rock salt, grated ginger, cumin seeds, black pepper powder, and fresh coriander for garnishing. So let's see how to prepare. So as I mentioned yesterday, most of the cooking we try to do it in an iron vessel. So today also for this soup, we are going to use an iron kadai. So here we have our iron kadai. So first we are going to roast our horse gram powder in a little bit coconut oil. So we will use almost 1 to 2 teaspoon of the oil. So I'm going to use around 1 spoon of the oil. Because this recipe works for the obesity also. So we are not going to use much oil. And specifically we are going to use here coconut oil, which is very good for the bad cholesterol people, like those who are getting bad cholesterol issues. For them it is very good. So now we are going to roast our horse gram. So almost 2 spoons of horse gram is enough. For this dish will serve one person. So roast it nicely. So horse gram soup, if someone is suffering from PCOS plus obesity, they must have it at least twice a week. So specifically in evening timing, we recommend to have soups because most of the time PCOS is always associated with the obesity. So it will definitely help in a weight loss also. Now we are going to add a pinch of asafoetida to it because we have roasted it sufficiently. So a pinch of asafoetida, then turmeric, then black pepper, cumin seed you can use whole or you can use powdered form also, and ginger. So ginger is also very good for improving the metabolism. And now we are going to add water to it. If you like to have vegetables, you can add some vegetables also. So almost 200 ml water we have added. And then we are going to add salt as per taste. So as I mentioned, in Ayurveda cooking, generally we use rock salt only. So salt as per taste. This is only for one person, so very little salt is needed. And you have to boil it nicely. So this is very instant and easy dish. If you want, you can add some of the vegetables, like you can add carrot, you can add beetroot, you can add spinach, you can add coriander also. So, and this recipe, it as I have mentioned, as it is very good for the obesity. So PCOS and obesity goes hand in hand. So these type of the soup dishes generally I recommend to all my patients who are suffering from obesity. So you can utilize other flours also, like for example jowar, ragi, or wheat flour or bajra. So these type of soups, if you prepare in the night time specifically, it will be fulfilling. So it will not make you more hungry also, and then you won't put on weight by eating other stuff. And in the morning you will wake up fresh. So horse gram has other qualities also. Like for example, it helps in kidney stones. So those who are suffering from recurrent kidney stones, they can also have this horse gram. In Ayurveda, this horse gram is used in kidney stone medicines. Then it is used in like obesity medicines. Obesity powder massages also are done with the horse gram. And horse gram nowadays the research is done, and it is mentioned that it works very well in the diabetes because it improves metabolism. So you can see that there are a lot of benefits of this horse gram. So you can have this soup, specifically those who are pitta prakriti person, they can have this soup at least once a week. But those who are vata and kapha related person, kapha bodied person, they can have it twice a week. Make sure pitta persons a little bit careful because it is hot in potency. So it in summer it might increase little heat. So that's why once in a week they can have at bed, like in the dinner. So now I think our soup has started boiling. We will put it in a serving bowl. It is very simple and easy to prepare. And because we are using it into the powder form, that's why it becomes more easily cooking. Because when you cook it in a pressure cooker, like whole horse gram, then it becomes little difficult. It takes a lot of time. But if when you prepare it in a powder form, it gets cooked very fast. So you can see it's like a semi-solid, not too semi-solid, easy to drink. Vegetables can be added for the extra benefit. We will transfer it to the serving bowl. We garnish it with coriander, which is optional. If you want, you can have it. Otherwise, there's no need. So our horse gram soup for the PCOS plus obesity is ready to drink. We will offer it to our Shri Radha Vrindan Bihari. It's tulsi leaf. So this is for the PCOS plus obesity, which generally I recommend most of my patients, and they have found it very helpful when they have it once or twice a week. It's very light. It helps in reducing weight also. Now we are going to see our second recipe. That is for the to inducing the periods. So those girls specifically who are suffering from amenorrhea or secondary amenorrhea or lack of periods, or sometimes they skip their periods. So for them, we are going to prepare some dishes which is just to induce their periods naturally. So first, very well-known and traditional recipe which we are going to learn is the sesame seeds laddu, which is very common. But I would like to add, because traditionally there are chances that you might not be adding all the ingredients. So I would like to share how to prepare it actually from Ayurveda point of view. Sesame seeds. So here, most of the patients, they have this question, which sesame seeds are good? Because in the market, if you go and see, you get two types of sesame seeds. One is a black sesame seed, and other one is a white sesame seed. Even red is also available, but in the scriptures. Next. Yeah. So in the scripture, it is mentioned that black sesame seeds are the best. Okay, so that's why we are going to use black one. Acharya Bhava Prakash is one of the Acharya in Ayurveda, has mentioned that Krishna Sreshtam Teshu Shukralo Madhyamas Tila. That means Krishna Tila. That means the black sesame seeds are the best, and the white one are have a medium qualities, and the red one are the lowest one. That's why we are going to use the black one. So the ingredients for our recipe are black sesame seeds, jaggery, dry ginger powder, which is also called as a shunti, and then cow ghee. So we are going to prepare this laddus, and here black sesame seeds, I have roasted them already, because you have to grind it. So I because it takes time to get cooling, so I have already roasted and cooled it down. Now we are going to grind it. When you roast the sesame seeds, it grinds very fast. It's very easy for the grinding. So now, this is our grinded sesame seed. It has become powdered form. You can keep it whole also, but what happens when you keep it whole, then most of the people, they don't chew it. Okay, so it doesn't go inside properly and it comes out like that. So that's why we need to grind it like that. A little coarse powder also can be done. So we are going to add some cow ghee to our kadai. So 1 to 2 spoons of a cow ghee is enough for our laddu. So the research says that if you have, if a girl or if someone female who is not having their periods or cycle regularly, if they have this sesame seed laddu every day, 1 or 2 laddu, then within 2 weeks they get their periods normal. So without any medicine, if it is a secondary amenorrhea, then definitely they get good results. Okay, so now we are going to add some jaggery to the ghee. So jaggery is again a good source or the rich source for the anemia. So generally, anemia is one of the reason for the secondary amenorrhea. So let the jaggery get melted. There are different methods of preparing these laddus, but this is the one of the best method. You can directly put all the ingredients in a mixer grinder, and like that also you can prepare the laddus. Then we are going to add shunthi powder, almost half spoon. When you are using around 4 spoons of sesame seeds, half spoon of shunthi powder is enough. And then we'll add our sesame seeds paste. Krishna. Sorry, I think I lost my connectivity. So yeah, we were there. We were preparing our laddus. So I have mixed all the ingredients. Now we are going to transfer it into a plate so that we can prepare the laddus. It gets little when it gets little bit cooled down, then only we are going to prepare. So this is our mixture. We'll wait it till it becomes cold, and then we'll bind the laddus of it. till the time our mixture is getting cooled down, we are going for our next recipe. So our next recipe is garden crisp kheer, which is also one of the main ingredient for the secondary amenorrhea. So generally, I have, as I told, like sesame seeds also induce uterus, or it contracts uterus for the periods to happen. Like that, garden crisp is also one of the ingredients which is generally recommended in hormonal imbalances. Even during menopause, also it is very good for the osteoporotic symptoms. So in that also, we are recommending garden crisp. If anyone doesn't know how it looks like, I'll just show you how it looks like. This is garden crisp, which is available in the market. It is also called as a halim in Hindi, olive in Marathi, and Lepidium sativum is its Latin name. So it looks like little bit brown color jeera cumin seed type, but very small, tiny seeds. So this is garden crisp. So I have roasted and made it into powder form. This is the powder of the garden crisp. Okay, and this with this we are going to use for our recipe. So those females, specifically those who are traditionally like post delivery, generally this garden crisp seeds are used in the kheer or any laddu preparation, because it helps in a back pain, and then it also helps to induce the milk secretion from the breast. So that's why generally it is, most of the time it is used post delivery, but it can be used to induce periods also. The garden crisp has very good effect for uterus. It's one of the uterine contractor. So let's see how to prepare it. So the ingredients for this garden crisp here are garden crisp powder, cow ghee, then rock sugar plus cardamom. I have mixed it together, and milk. If you don't want to use rock sugar, you can use jaggery also. Jaggery is also very good for the iron deficiency. Basically, when iron deficiency or anemia is the reason for the amenorrhea. So jaggery can also be used, and even powdered sugar also can be used. But make sure when you are using jaggery in any milk preparation, when it becomes lukewarm, then only you add jaggery. Otherwise, your milk or your kheer will get spoiled. So let's see how to prepare it. So I'm going to add just little bit of ghee, 1/4 teaspoon of the ghee. Yeah. Just to roast our garden crisp powder. And then we are going to add garden crisp to it. Almost 2 spoons for a single preparation. Roast it nicely and then add milk to it. So the consistency you can check almost almost 150 ml to 200 ml milk is enough for this recipe. Once it starts boiling nicely, then we are going to add the sugar, or if you want, you can add jaggery once it becomes lukewarm. So let it get boiled nicely. This is also one of the simplest recipe. Can be taken once or twice a week. We'll let it get boiled and then we'll transfer it into the serving bowl. This is again one of the good recipe, but only the thing is that it has a little bit bitter taste. So when you add sugar to it or add jaggery to it, then the bitterness will come down. It can be used in the laddu preparations also. Can be used as a toppings for the sabji or any other dishes if you are using. Or maybe you can add it into the dough of the chapatis if you are preparing, if you don't like the taste. So in this way, you can use the garden crisp. But once or twice a week, if you prepare it and have it, definitely it will help to induce the period. So it is the recipe for the amenorrhea. So we are going to transfer it into a serving bowl. So our this garden crisp kheer is ready. We are going to offer it. Sugar. Sugar with the elaichi, we are going to add to it. If you want to add jaggery, let it get lukewarm. This is powdered sugar with the elaichi. You can add even dry fruits also if you feel like, but if someone is having little obesity or those kind of issues, then it is better to have it simple only. Sugar can be added as per taste. And this is for the serving. We'll check whether our laddu mixture is cooled down. Yeah, it has been lukewarm now. We are going to prepare laddu out of it. If you prepare it, it remains for long period. If you keep it outside also. Like this, you can prepare laddus. We will keep it for the serving. Our next recipe is these were the two recipes for the amenorrhea or secondary amenorrhea. You can say when those who are not getting regular periods, for them we have prepared these two recipes. Now our next recipe is energy bar. Energy bar for the PMS. So generally the females who are suffering from PMS, last time also when I gave the class, I explained some of the herbs which are good for the PMS. But now we are going to see a recipe. So you can prepare it, keep it ready before your PMS comes, and you can have it during your PMS, so that the stress which is released during the premenstrual symptoms will come down. So let's see what are the ingredients for it. The first ingredient or first herb which we are going to use is ashwagandha. So this is ashwagandha powder. Then second is shatavari powder. This is shatavari. Then jaggery, as per taste we are going to use. Dates we are going to use. Then brahmi leaves, as we have used them yesterday also in our laddus. We are going to release the stress during the PMS. And then we are going to use some raisins so that anemia related issues will come down. Sesame seeds and flax seeds. And cow ghee is again one of the ingredients. So let's see how to prepare this energy bar. So what we'll do, first we will add our dates to the grinder. This is the grinder. So dates you can use as per your taste or as per your convenience. Then in this we are going to add our flax seeds. These are roasted flax seeds. Already I have roasted them. So we are going to add 2 spoons of flax seeds to it. Then roasted sesame seeds. Then in this we are going to add our ashwagandha powder, shatavari powder, and we'll grind all together. You can see our dates, everything has got mixed very well. Then we will crush our leaves, Mandukpani leaves, into small pieces with the hand only. Use scissor also. And let's again take some cow ghee to the kadai. Little cow ghee is enough. Then we are going to add jaggery to it. As we have used dates, we are not using much jaggery. Jaggery is very good energy booster. When you feel low during PMS, generally most of the females, they feel very low energy. So for that, it will give good boost. Then we are going to add all our ingredients to it, all the mixture. And then raisins. Because the dates are added, it works very well binding material, right? So, and not much sweet. If you don't want to add jaggery, it is optional. If you don't want, you can just use raisins also. So our mixture is ready to transfer it in a plate. You can see it has, there is no need of specific any binding material. It has become very thick paste, easily getting bound. These type of energy bars, they are very healthy because all the seeds are going in your body, dates are going, jaggery is there, cow ghee is there, so it will work very well for all type of body, like all the body types. Someone is a pitta dominant person, for them also it will work very well. If someone is a vata dominant, for them also it will work very well. And if someone is kapha dominant, for them generally we will not recommend to use much dates and jaggery. They can have mixture of the seeds, or maybe very small amount of jaggery and dates can be used. We'll let it get cool down, and then we will cut it into pieces, and we have to garnish them with the mandukpani leaves. Like how you use coriander. Or if you don't like the taste of mandukpani, then you can put it in a mixer grinder and then grind it nicely. That way also you can have it. Because mandukpani leaves are very good stress buster. You have seen yesterday also. It's a very good stress buster. So it has been little bit cool now. We'll cut it into pieces. Now we are going to transfer it into a serving plate. Our energy bars for the PMS is ready for offering. So now our last recipe specifically for the menopause. This was for the premenstrual symptoms, which you can have it during you can keep it ready before your PMS starts, and you can have it every day. 1 bar or 2 bars are enough. So like that you can prepare. The next recipe for is for the menopause. So we are going to learn how to prepare a simple tea for the menopause symptoms. So most of the female who are after 40, they start getting some hot flashes, their bones become brittle, they get palpitations, they feel they feel like internal heat has increased, they feel anxious. So for all those symptoms, we are going to learn a tea, which is Ayurvedic tea, a simple and easy Ayurvedic tea, which is going to reduce all their symptoms. So let's see what are the ingredients. So the ingredients for our herbal tea, these are all herbal ingredients. So the first ingredient is Arjuna powder, which is very easily available in the market. Then second ingredient is Amla powder, which is also easily available in the market. And third one is a Shatavari powder, which is also very easily available in the market. And then important ingredient is a rock sugar powder and then water. So we are going to prepare a herbal tea with all these ingredients. It's very easy to prepare. You can have it, this kind of a tea 2 or 3 times a day. At bedtime, if you have this tea, you will have peaceful sleep. So let's see how to prepare it. So first, we will add almost 50 to 60 ml of water. And then when water starts boiling, add all our herbs. Only the thing is that ashwagandha is little bitter in taste. So make sure you add only 1/4. Just 1/4 teaspoon of Shatavari powder. Or you can also call it as a 1 or 2 pinches of a Shatavari powder, because you are going to prepare it 2 or 3 times a day. Then almost 1 or 2 pinches will make it almost half spoon or half to 1 spoon in a day, which is the recommended dose. Then we are going to add 1/4 spoon of Arjuna powder and Amla powder, 1/4 spoon. As you know, Arjuna is very good for the heart. Shatavari balances all your hormones, and Amla balances your pitta. And then we are going to add just little bit sugar, rock sugar powder, as per the taste. It's very easy to prepare, very simple also. You have to boil it. You can see now it has started boiling nicely. Now we'll switch off the light. We'll switch off the gas and cover it with the lid just for the 5 minutes, because we want all the ingredients of these herbal herbs get released into the water. So when you keep it like that, this is called as a Panta Kalpana in Ayurveda. Also, like we add the herbs in a hot water and keep it covered with the lid. So all the ingredients get infused in the water, and then you get all the ingredients you get, that quality you get into the water. And when you strain it, and when you have this kind of a herbal tea, definitely it is going to help you. You can either add honey also. If you don't like to add rock sugar, you can add honey when it becomes lukewarm, completely lukewarm. And even jaggery also can be added to some extent. But because hot flushes is one of the main symptoms, that's why I recommended rock sugar, because it is a cooling in nature. So this is how you can have this tea 2 to 3 times a day during your menopause and get rid of the symptoms of the menopause. So I think we have some time. We have some time. Yeah, so we can cover the questions. I think yesterday also I could not answer some of the questions. If you have some questions, put it in the chat box. So, and please make sure that you add the questions related with these recipes, because if you ask me some of the treatments of the diseases and all, then it is going to take time. So if you ask relevant questions, I'll be able to answer them. Anjali, can you read the questions for me? Can a person having diabetes have this bar and laddus? Definitely no, because diabetes, if someone is having diabetes, it is going to increase heat in the body. So definitely I'll not recommend for the diabetic person. For the diabetic person, you can have mixture of those seeds, and you can grind it together, and then that mixture can be taken 1 or 2, 3 times. Can be chewed, like how yesterday we prepared tambulam, right? So like just roast the seeds, grind it, and then have it 1 or 2 spoons in a day. That will help. But generally, if you give them dates, jaggery, all those, then definitely sugar will increase. Then thank you, Hari Bhakti, for your appreciation. Then there is a question from Revati. Can this be had for persons suffering from arthritis or pains? See, basically, these are simple home remedies. This is not a treatment. The recipe which I have recommended, like garden crisp kheer, can be given to the person who is having arthritic pain, because if it is because of the degeneration related issues, if it is degeneration, or if it is during the menopause, then definitely you can give them that garden crisp kheer, which will help to strengthen the bones. So that arthritis, sometimes there are 2 types of arthritis. One is because of the degeneration, and another one is because of the inflammation in the body. The one which is because of the degeneration, in that case, this kheer will help. Then can this thank you, Kiran, for your appreciation and encouragement. There is a inquiry that there is a they are asking diabetic food recipes. Definitely I'll come up with some of the recipes next time for the diabetic patients. There is a question from Galaxy M21. Ma'am, can we get the recipes of kheer in the notes? Yeah, if you want, these recordings also will be available. And if you want recipes yesterday's also and today's also, I can share the PPTs in the group. Definitely you will get the recipes. No worries.
Participants can subscribe. Participants can subscribe to Govardhan Ayurveda YouTube channel for the recordings of these sessions. They'll be uploaded soon. And for those who are looking for more information on diabetes, we are celebrating World Diabetes Day on November 13th and 14th. There will be wisdom sessions by our doctors covering many, many aspects of diabetes management, along with yoga sessions for the diabetes patients. You can ask any more questions to Mataji. We yet have some time.
There is a question, what is the shelf life of laddus? So yes, laddus and those bars can be kept 7 to 8 days because we are not adding any water. We are preparing all the dishes in the cow ghee only. So yeah, 7 to 8 days they can remain. Even more than that also can be kept. So maximum 10 to 15 days you can keep it and then have it every day. There is a question. Pali. Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat Pranam. Thank you for the wonderful recipes. If it is PMS related headache, or if you are getting specifically only during the PMS, then the energy bars also will help, because in that also we are adding some of the herbs. And first find out what is your body type, if it is a Pitta body type or if it is a Vata body type. So we go for Prakriti analysis for such cases. So once you come to know what is your body type, then as per that I can recommend you what are the things. So if you are a Pitta dominant person, take Amla tea, Amla with rock sugar and water. That will definitely help to reduce the headaches. And you can have even Triphala tablets at bedtime, 1 or 2 tablets at bedtime during those time period where Pitta is increasing. So Pitta will get released or get out from the body with the Triphala, and definitely headaches will come down. Then I think the questions are over. Yeah. If you don't have any questions, then we will wind up the session here. If you want to get connected with Govardhan Ayurveda, you can log in Govardhan Ayurveda YouTube channel, subscribe it. You will get multiple videos related with the Ayurveda, with the Ayurvedic lifestyle, Ayurvedic cooking, basics of Ayurveda, then which are the treatments which we are doing at Govardhan Ayurveda. So there is a question from Renu, where is your clinic? We have a hospital set up at Govardhan Ayurveda, Govardhan Eco Village, which is in Galtare in Palghar district. So it's a wonderful setup here in a serene environment of a nature, and it's like a spiritual organization plus Ayurveda plus yoga. So we are treating your patients with the pure Ayurveda treatment, and then with the Panchakarma treatment. So you can see on you can Google Govardhan Ayurveda or Govardhan Eco Village, where you get all the details about this center. There is a question from Murari Bhakta. Can you tell us, for vacation people, what to eat in the morning first? I didn't get. Can you tell us, for Vata people, what to eat in the morning first? Yeah, it's a nice question, Murari Bhakta Prabhuji. So see, basically Vata people, they have cold body, they have coldness in their body. So for such a people, generally we recommend they can have something warm in the morning time. Specifically anything like warm dishes, like maybe dosa, idli, something like that. Along with that, something semi-solid should be there. Maybe dal, or maybe some kind of porridges you can have. And then along with that issue, you must have some herbal tea, different type of herbal tea. If you want to learn more about herbal tea, I have given one session for the teas only. So you can see that video also. So yeah, herbal tea is must during the breakfast time, because morning time is generally, as per Ayurveda, it is a kapha kala, where cold climate is there. And then if someone is more vata person, then again, if you take something cold, which is not good, which is going to increase vata in your body. So you must have something warm, um, warm porridges, or like warm vegetables, something like that. Okay, so I think we have covered all the questions. I hope I have given sufficient answers to your questions. So please stay connected with us. So for the new, as per the recommendation, we will have one session for the diabetes patients also, so that what are the things which they can have, what are the dishes, breakfast items, lunch item, dinner item, and then what are the herbs which they can add in their diets, so that diabetes gets controlled, or diabetes remains in a control. Or if they are having uncontrolled diabetes, what are the precautions they can have, so that their further complications should be avoided. Like that we can prepare. Stay tuned and stay connected. Okay. So we wind up the session. Thank you for your patient listening and hearing. Hare Krishna.